Hello world, Kyle here with NimbleNoggin.io, and today we're going to talk about how to reconfigure a view after the keyboard has shown and you've been moving and adjusting different views on the screen to take into account that the keyboard could cover them up. What's going on in our scenario here is we are on this text field screen of the Swift Component Store app, and as we can see, when the keyboard moves up, then the text field will move up out of the way of the keyboard so it doesn't get covered. But what about when the keyboard goes away? We don't want this view to hang around at the same Y value that it's at now. We want it to move back to where it was. And that's even easier than making sure that the view is out of the way of the keyboard in the first place. So let's check out some code. Just to start off, we have a reference to the bottom constraint of that text field here that's constraining it to the bottom of the view controller. We are setting an observer on self to the selector keyboard will hide on the UI keyboard will hide notification using the NS notification center. And what's going on in this keyboard will show method is that we're making sure when the keyboard does show, we increase the distance from the text field to the bottom of the screen to the size to the height of the keyboard plus 20 points for some extra padding, so that the bottom of the text field here is not sitting directly on top of the keyboard. And what we are trying to get is this effect here. When the keyboard drops out, then this text field will fall back to where it was. So in this keyboard will hide notification, it is an entire one line less of code than the keyboard will show method. And that's because we don't even need to get into this keyboard frame user info dictionary to get the size of the keyboard. In some cases you will, but here, to make it easy, I'm just using a magic number of 115 and setting this constant back to 115, which is around or exactly where I set it to in the first place, and calling a UI view animate with duration using the duration of the keyboard's disappearance that we are finding in this user info dictionary property of the NS notification, and just saying self.view layout if needed. So we are animating this resetting of the constraints constant back to 115 over the correct duration. And we can see here, we get rid of the keyboard, everything slides back to how it was. The reason this plus symbol here is moving is because its constraints are actually positioning it a certain distance above this bottom text field, so that it will move up and down with the text field. Thanks for watching.